Safwan said, since we were talking in yesterday's episode about oppression, and those who oppress people, especially from people of authority, they have Muslim names. They kill people, they throw people in prison, and they betray, and so on. What is going to happen to them on the Day of Judgment? As far as punishment, we're done with that. We talked enough that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would not waste any case without being judged with the ultimate justice. So the oppressors will be punished and the oppressed will get compensated. And we talked about that in detail. But he's asking furthermore question, those people who bear Muslim names, and he gives some names, are they still Muslims? And will they eventually enter heaven afterward? You see, sometimes the extent of zulm and oppression makes the oppressed one wishes that the oppressor would never enter heaven to that extent. And there is an overwhelming feeling over all the Muslim world nowadays that is making people feel that the oppressors have went beyond all the boundaries and crossed all the red lines. So is it right to say these guys are kuffar? No. Under any circumstances? No. There are some circumstances, such as if they declare kufr. But if a person does not declare kufr, and if a person, whether he is a ruler or a layman, okay, to be very clear, does not declare kufr and does not do any of the acts which are labeled as kufr or disbelief, no matter how bad, how oppressor, how sinner, how criminal, yes, he will be punished in proportion with his crime or crimes or oppression. But be careful. Be careful. You should never judge any person with disbelief, as long as this person claims to be a Muslim. Whether he is really Muslim or not, this is something between him and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You all know that Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam knew for sure that Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Salul was not an ordinary munafiq. No, he was the head of the munafiqeen. But he treated him apparently as a Muslim because he declared in public that he is a Muslim. And when he died, he led his funeral prayer. This is to teach the ummah, be careful. Don't you be judgmental of others' faith, because An-Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the greatest one in this ummah, the one who used to communicate directly with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, did not do it. So who gave you the authority to say this person is not a kafir? I saw him drinking. He drinks wine. Well, he's a sinner. I saw him doing this and that. Didn't you see what they did during the war in Gaza? Didn't you see what they did here and there? Correct. But disbelief is something that is the greatest sin. It must be either if they declare it or if they do the acts of disbelief. Somebody does not pray and says the prayer is insignificant, is a disbeliever. Somebody denies what is known to every ordinary Muslim, it is mandatory, he is a disbeliever, So the person may be a Muslim and an oppressor. He will be punished for his oppression. And don't you think that this punishment is just a couple days and he will be off the hook? It takes a long time. But eventually, An-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, one who has an atom weight of faith in his heart shall not reside or abide eternally in hell. Yani, the shafa'a, the intercession, will cover even those who had just said, La ilaha illallah Muhammadun Rasulullah. They were Muslims, but they committed all the sins you can imagine. So they will stay in fire to be punished for it if Allah does not forgive their sins. But eventually, they will not be treated like the kuffar, because al-kufr does what? Al-kufr makes a person stays forever in hell. Wal-'iyadhu billah. It is not for any individual to judge another or others of disbelief, because the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said in the hadith, whenever a Muslim says to a Muslim, you are a kafir, then if he's not a kafir, then the person who labeled him with kufr is actually a kafir. He committed kufr because he challenged Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in his authority.
Huda TV's social media sites are the best way to contact us from anywhere around the world. Stay connected with Huda TV's latest news and programs through Facebook, Twitter, Google+, YouTube, Skype, and Instagram. It's fast and easy. Stay up to date with your favorite shows and scholars today. Huda TV, a light in every home.